Do It with Dan have come together. We are reviewing his car. He used to have a Camaro, now he has this Corvette, and it has a bunch of goodies, so let's go. Oh. Oh. My God. It's just like a constant wind noise. God, it sounds so good. So you guys might know this car from a YouTube channel called Do It with Dan. This is his baby, and before this he had a Camaro SS. And he says the Camaro SS had a little bit more character, but of course this car is just a better car in every way. He has these really badass forged gold wheels that not everybody's crazy about, but trust me, in person, looks really good. I can see how people in pictures would be like, oh, I don't like them, but and I saw him in person, I was like, oh wow, actually does look good. You have long tube headers, you have a blower from East Coast Supercharging, and you're pushing around 6 pounds of boost. The car makes 550 horsepower and 510 foot-pounds of torque, which is great. Why is that great? Because usually the centrifugal blowers are great at making horsepower because they're so similar to turbochargers, but sometimes they lack in the torque department. But since we're rocking this new LT motor with plenty of torque, throw on the blower, a little bit of force induction, voila, things wake up like crazy. These long tube headers sound so nasty. With this exhaust system, there's baffles in it. So the great thing about that is you can close it when you're going by the police station, not bothering anybody. And then when you just want to hoon around, you can open it up and have a bunch of fun. One thing about the Corvette that a lot of people don't like in the new ones is the rev matching. So instead of having to heel toe, instead of having to rev match yourself, the computer does it for you. Now, I'm one of those people where I'm not gonna say I'm a purist. Like, I think it's an amazing feature because if I'm coming, you know, to a stoplight or something, I don't have to worry about just absolutely destroying my clutch if I do it wrong that one time. And another thing is, the shifter I love. Dan does not like the shifter. I love the shifter in the C7 because of how notchy it is. Now another thing too is your center of gravity in the Corvette C7 is amazing. Like your driving position, you feel like you can take on the world in this thing. The Hellcat I just did felt a little bit elevated, and then I get back in this and I'm like, I feel like I'm just like a squatting predator waiting to eat something. It has such good position, and I feel like I can go on a track with this thing and just kill the game, honestly. I mean, has the nice wide front, you know exactly where you're going, has the short back, good set of tires on it, and it just goes. But if you didn't know, you can disable the rev matching, so if you're really that much of a stickler about it, don't worry, it's all good, you can just turn it off. I just prefer it because, so I'm coming up to a light, saying I want to downshift, I can just go like that, and it did it for me. I did not touch the gas pedal when that happened. That's so cool, because when you, before you even get into the gear, it starts getting ready. So you feel it right before you notch into that gear, it starts revving it up. So the last C7 I drove was bone stock. So as you can imagine, this is quite a different experience. The seats in the C7 are actually pretty comfortable too. I mean, I'm a little lanky guy, and I'm pretty gripped in here. It's not like I'm gonna get thrown around or anything. This thing rips. The question is, does this feel as fast as that Hellcat? Yeah, I think it does. It's amazing what weight will do. This car is so much lighter than, say, a Hellcat or even an older GT500 or something that has just as much horsepower. And when you reel into the power band, it's so exciting getting to the next gear. That's so much fun. I shouldn't compare this to the Hellcat, but I have to because I just got out of it. This one, when it comes to cruising, obviously not as good as the Hellcat, but miles per gallon, it's way up there. But it doesn't really know what to do. Like, if you're in boost, it's like, let's freaking go. If you're out of boost and you get in it just enough, it'll start kind of, not bucking at you, but it's just like, are we gonna go? Or maybe? I don't know. Oh, okay, I guess we're not. It has a bunch of different modes and has magnetic ride, and magnetic ride is probably one of the best inventions ever made in the auto industry because this car, as I went around the bend back there, I thought it had an aftermarket suspension on it, and it was better than an aftermarket suspension. Like, that's what it felt like, because there was so much control in the body roll and everything that I was like, oh, wow, it's still gripping. Like, I was really surprised that I wasn't getting a little loose. I was shocked at that, and that was amazing. Plus, mechanical grip, the Corvette has a ton. I always say this in all my Corvette reviews, I really don't think Corvettes should be compared to muscle cars. I think they're kind of in a league of their own, because you have the Ford GT, but that's so priced out of this that I don't even think they should be compared. So, and then Dodge doesn't really have, I mean, they have the Viper. So I think Dodge and I think the Viper and the Corvette should be compared. Right now the valves are closed, and oh wow, it's so much, so it's so much quieter, but you hear a lot more of the blower noise and the exhaust noise. So as soon as you hit 3,000 RPM, you get this giant whoosh. Woo! And the brakes are amazing. This car is pure confidence. Like, every gear, I know I'm gonna get right into power with it. There's not too many cars out there where you can shift really fast and be right into power. A lot of the times, if you're trying to be nice to somebody's car, which I totally admit, that was not very nice to this car, but it loved it. That's the thing, is like, it really liked when you went right back into it. If I were to kind of let it lag, there'd be more load on the motor and so on and so forth. But man, this thing just rips. I love it. I mean, it's so nice that I'm on the highway cruising, no big deal. Picked up my kids at school, 3rd gear, drop, go. Awesome. Yeah. Bang for your buck. It's hard to beat a Corvette. I don't have much to say, because it's just simple and it works. That's the beauty of Corvettes, LS engines, LT engines. They just work. So controllable, and you feel so empowered going into each gear that you're just like, yep, just badass. My favorite Corvette I've ever driven, I think, still is the ZR1, but not on a, like, not by a big margin though. Like, it used to be like C5, Supercharged, C6, and then C7, then ZR1, instead of the reverse. But now it's like ZR1, Dan's Corvette. With the air dim and everything, you can go around a turn really, really fast. Woo! Another thing too about the C7 is just the looks of it, man. I love the hood scoop. I love the ducktail spoiler. I love how aggressive the back looks. You put a C7 Corvette next to an exotic, and it's really not that big of a gap anymore. They have the awesome bits on the side, the nice hips. Everything about it is aggressive. And now with these wheels, good tire setup, I think Dan has done an amazing job with this car already. And he hasn't even had it that long. He's had it since September, and it's already at this stage. In the cabin, in the interior of the Corvette, it's so much better than previous generations. The other generations look like a joke. So, like, you have a cobalt steering wheel on the C6 Corvette. Are you serious? Like, I know it's okay to share parts, but when it's that blatantly obvious, I don't think that's okay. But with this, suede steering wheel, driver-focused radio, driver-focused shifter in, like, the perfect spot. Also, you have a great tachometer right in the middle with the speedo in the perfect spot. You have all these little tiny things that even the speedometer knows that owners are gonna make this car so fast that they're gonna go to 200 miles an hour because the speedo says so. It's those little things where you know they put their heart and soul into this car, and they did a really good job. What was their goal of the Corvette C7? And I think their goal was to just make a astronomically better car than the C6, and I think they succeeded. All right, you guys, what do you guys think of Do It With Dan's Corvette? I thought it was fan-freaking-tastic. Dan asked me to wear these because Arnold Schwarzenegger told me so. So, I'll see you guys next time. Have a fantastic day. I'll be back.